Also known as K2 or spice, synthetic marijuana can pose a variety of issues to first responders. News 10 ABC's Ayla Ferrone has more now on what happens in the minutes following a synthetic drug overdose.
When first responders arrive on the scene of a synthetic drug overdose, it can be a lot more difficult than your average call. It then becomes a guessing game of what they have to do to keep that patient alive. Following a bad batch of synthetic marijuana in Connecticut that led more than 70 people to overdose,
Is it another one?
we're learning more about how first responders here in the capital region would respond to such an outbreak.
It requires a lot of resources, a lot of manpower.
Daniel Gilmore is the director of operations for Mohawk Ambulance and says a K2 overdose poses several problems for first responders.
Even though you know what the drug is, you're still at a guess of what chemicals the patient has actually consumed.
Making it harder to treat.
Many of our traditional treatments, which have been effective in the past, are not as effective against these designer drugs.
Just last week, federal agents were able to take a kilogram of K2 off the streets. Federal officials say it was out of this Schenectady deli that two men planned to sell spice with designer street names like Scooby Snacks, Loopy, and Geeked Up, each of which could have a completely different chemical makeup.
Within one outbreak, it can be multiple different specimens.
Dr. Alicia Leidecker with Albany Medical Center says the biggest problem she sees with synthetic overdoses is the uncertainty of recovery time.
When you throw in these new synthetic drugs, I don't know if it's going to be 2 hours, I don't know if it's going to be 10 hours.
And the symptoms can vary too.
In severe cases, people can be flipping over beds or, fighting out of 4-point restraints.
Both Leidecker and Gilmore say they don't see K2 going away anytime soon and try to do as much preemptive work as possible.
You just have to kind of be aware of what outbreaks are happening.
So we'll catch up with one and then they'll have another fashion drug of the day.
And as for the men facing those federal charges, the recovered K2 is out for lab testing to find out exactly what the drug contains. I'm reporting in Schenectady, Ayla Ferrone, News 10 ABC.